Should we go ahead and call the park board meeting to order? First order of business is the review of the minutes from the last meeting. Are there any changes, corrections, or omissions that anybody caught that we need to change? If not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the April 8th meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. The next item we have up is you. If you want to take the podium and...
Sure. Right here, I'm going to first pass out a couple pieces of paper I have for each one of you. Hopefully it has enough. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, this one's for myself. I can share. Okay.
We can share. Yep. Nope, not a problem.
Okay. All right. So first of all, thanks everybody for your time. I appreciate you having me in here. This is just a couple slides that I put together. The first one represents every single physical animal shelter that is present currently in the state of Wisconsin. As you can see, there are multiple ones. This is each city with at least one. A lot of these cities like Milwaukee, Madison, La Crosse have multiple. I didn't mark those. And then in the second one, you can see 4 primary areas that I've marked that are absent of a shelter. The first one is Price County in the North Woods with a population of 13,869. Clark County, about 35,000. Buffalo County, 14,000. And St. Croix County, about 85,000, which is clearly the highest in the state. For an area that's absent in a physical animal shelter. So what St. Croix Animal Friends and myself believe is that it's time to get a physical animal shelter in St. Croix County in Hudson that would service Hudson, River Falls, Baldwin, Somerset, New Richmond. Currently we outsource our animal care to Woodbury, Central Wisconsin, Menominee, Eau Claire. That's about 1,200 animals every year. So we have purchased a 6.5 acre tract of land, which is in Roberts, and are currently, as you hopefully know, starting a capital campaign to raise funds to build the shelter. The project that we're asking to run will essentially be just to raise community awareness, get people involved in the mission and understanding what our cause is. Currently that's the main objective is to just get people out there and seeing our organization around and understanding what we're trying to accomplish. I took a photo, and that's on the bottom of your second page right there. It's a little bit flooded, unfortunately, right now, but that is the area that we propose to use, right on the south end of the walking pier, right kind of beneath the 2 boats that are docked in that area. So we would place 71 balloons, or I forgot to include that here, but it would be balloons or corkboard, just something that floats. And that would be attached to a fishing line and then a lead sinker that would tie it to the bottom. And for more information on that design, turn to the next page. So here's a little diagram I put together. You can see the riverfront walkway, the walking pier, the boat, and then the proposed area for the light display. We would then erect an educational table right by the riverfront walkway so people could ask questions about the display, ask questions about our organization. And then on the left with the dotted line, little inset right there, it's just my artistic rendition, very beautiful, of what it would look like. So we would make sure to tie up the lead sinkers and add 3 to 4 feet of line per sinker just to make sure that if it's deeper in one particular area, nothing would float away. We would take a boat out there in preparation for it and just kind of drop a sinker to measure the relative depth in the area. But then, as I mentioned, kind of add some line just in case there was one area that was a little bit deeper, so nothing would float away. The proposed dates are the weekend before or the weekend after July 4th, so the 27th and the 28th of June, or the 11th and the 12th of July. We would begin at approximately 5 p.m. on Friday with a boat, and just everything would be prepared. We just basically drop in the balloons or corkboard with the tea lights at 5 p.m. on Friday. And then those have a 48-hour candle light or life, so we would then pick them up on Sunday morning. If you read the assembly here, I know I've mentioned most of this already, but it's just battery-powered tea lights that would be placed on top of the balloons or corkboard. Fishing line, sinkers, secure it to the river bottom. And then on Sunday morning, we would pull everything up, making sure to leave nothing behind. That's the quick and dirty rendition of it. Any questions from you guys?
How did
Concerns.
How did you arrive at that particular location as your place of choice?
Right. The location is honestly, it's up to debate. That's not, the only location that we would accept or that we would, certainly agree to do it in. That's, in my opinion, our opinion, the most prominent location, given that people from Pier 500 can see it, people that are walking along the riverfront can see it there, especially the walking pier, where families and kids really like to go, especially on Friday and Saturday nights in summer. So yeah, basically just visibility, prominence in the community. That's what we arrived at that location.
I asked my question more out of a concern of there's a great deal of boat traffic that goes right through there to go under the United Bridge. Right,
exactly. So no, this wouldn't interfere with boat traffic at all. We would keep it about, it would begin about 10 feet off of the shore and only extend to about 20 to 25 feet away from the riverfront, so approximately 15 feet in diameter. So it wouldn't interfere with any boat traffic at all. It could be moved closer to shore. It'll be the light display here that you see in the diagram. It's a little bit enlarged, just so you could get the idea, and so I could fit my cute little purple dots in there. But yeah, it's going to be relatively small and shouldn't interfere with marine traffic.
So it would be in between the main channel that goes underneath the bridge and where the excursion docks are?
No, it would be, so you have the boat dock and then the bridge and then the riverfront. It would be beginning at the very southerly point of the bridge towards the riverfront and then end about 5 to 10 feet off the riverfront there.
So not out into the channel.
Yeah, not out into the channel.
And I guess I don't think that gets a lot of boat traffic there, Pat, where he's talking about. I mean, when you get into the channel, of course, but and I don't see people tying up boats down in that north end of the seawall.
Yeah, the majority of the boats are tied up. I mean, hundreds of feet away
Yeah,
from where that would be.
Closer to the stairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a reason why you couldn't just be in the rocky area, just with them displayed all in, the corner more this area, not be in the water? Because if you're going to leave them out there from Friday till Sunday morning, I would just be a little concerned. Or you're not pulling them out?
We're pulling them out on Sunday morning.
But you're not pulling them out Friday night or Saturday night? I mean, they're just going to be staying in there?
Yeah, presumably they would stay there. If that's a make or break thing with you guys, we could certainly take that into consideration and pull them out, Saturday morning, then re-put them up on Saturday afternoon.
People fish down there. I don't know if they would purposely cast into, I don't know.
Right, yeah, that would be a bigger concern than boat traffic, would be hook and line traffic.
I don't know.
Right.
They're pretty vulnerable, I think, at any point. No matter where you put them, I think they're going to be pretty vulnerable, so you know that.
Right, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think, the general casting distance for somebody there is probably, what do you think, 30 feet from shore maybe? So we could measure that and make sure it's a reasonable distance away from the rocks where people are actually casting it from.
Will you have someone who is with the display board that you talked about putting up, or will there be representatives who were on site?
Yeah, yes. We'll have 3 to 4 people at all times that are manning the display and answering questions.
Thank you.
I agree with Tom. I think the idea that I think you should take them down, in the evening. I don't think, you get some weather. Who knows? They could be floating down the river.
Right.
So that's it. That's the only objection I have. Otherwise, I think it's a great cause.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We would prefer to have them up. The idea is to get the tea lights on top of the whatever floats, corkboard or balloon, and then have it be most visible at nighttime.
Right.
Are you concerned with it floating away?
I'm concerned about having them out overnight.
Overnight. Okay.
Even if they came down at midnight, that's, after the bulk of the people
right.
are gone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can absolutely do that. We have a number of us have boats.
Would the committee consider a set
Well,
of time?
I want to discuss a little bit, but that's my concern.
Yeah. So no, we could definitely agree to putting them up at 3-4 p.m. each afternoon, and then remove them at midnight.
Yeah, I think they're vulnerable most vulnerable at that 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, you might come back and they're all pop. Someone's down there with a BB gun or.
Unfortunately, it might attract bad attention. You know?
Yeah, that's what I had initially just written the balloons thing, and then I was like, corkboard might make more sense just because nothing could possibly pop it. And
Okay.
the idea
Alright.
was just to screw in some little eye
Okay.
bolts to the corkboard and then tie fishing line to that. There's literally no way that could ever get away.
How many are you going to have up again?
71. That represents
so
each
it's-
animal that's abandoned or surrendered in St. Clair County every month.
Okay.
Any other questions about it at this time? Ron, you want to make that into a motion?
Sure. Do we want to agree on midnight to have them out by midnight?
I think so.
Okay.
If that's amenable?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve it with the exception that you do remove them at midnight.
Absolutely. As far as date, I know my initial thought was June 27th and 28th, and then we would not prefer to do it if it was a stormy weekend.
Sure.
So could we initially plan for that date, and then if in the event of inclement weather, push it back to July 11th and 12th?
I'd also like to see us put in the motion that that Tim and Tom agree on the spot where they're going to go before they're placed out there, just so that everything is thought out, in advance, and that they're going in the right spot, that they can accomplish what you want to have accomplished with them, and at the same time, Tom knows what the fishermen are doing down there, what the boat traffic is, and I think we can find a good solution that they're still visible the way you want them to, but out of harm's way of people
Yep.
getting at them as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll communicate with Tom via email and set up a time to head down there. Is that all right, Tom?
Yep, and then just, as long as we either have that I have your contact information, phone, cell phone, or whatever, in case there is some issue come up, but you should have the table down there,
Yep.
and someone should be, pretty much there during the event.
Okay. Yep, no, yeah, we'll have 3 to 4 people during all hours that the display is up.
Very good.
As far as the educational table itself, does that apply to the midnight disassembly as well?
The park hours are 10 o'clock. They close at 10.
Okay. Okay.
People are still, on a weekend, a nice weekend, probably are still walking on the walk path or something, but
Right. Okay. Yeah, we can disassemble that at midnight then as well.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any other further discussion anyone has or questions at this time?
With the park closing at 10, do you want to leave them out there till midnight, or
I
do you
think
want
we
to?
can leave an exception for the lighting part of it. That's for your main effect, I assume.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So noted. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carried.
Great. Thanks all for your time. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Good call.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Somebody let the police know so that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Appreciate
All right.
For what you do for
Alright.
the community.
Do we have to deal with the DNR in any way on that?
Yeah.
I can talk to the warden and
Yeah. I think that might be good just to.
They'll be worried about the lead sinkers.
Okay, the next item we have on our agenda is the election of officers for the coming year. So at this point, we'd be open for nominations for chairman.
I'll nominate Pat Casanova as chair.
I'll second.
Any further nominations? I'll do it, sure. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Next up is our vice chairman. Mike has been our vice chair in the past.
I'll nominate Mike O'Keefe as vice chair.
I'll second that.
And it's been second. Any further nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor of Mike signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
So next would be our secretary. Pam has been our secretary in the past with Deb doing the minutes and the like off of the video. Are there any, Pam, are you interested in doing it again?
Unless someone else is interested, I would do it again.
I'll nominate. Okay, I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to nominate Pam. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We have our officers then for the coming year. Tom, do you have anything on project updates at this time that you want to cover before we adjourn up to the park?
Couple things at the last, not the meeting the council meeting 2 weeks ago, we had requested a shade structure for Williams Park. It was approved in the capital request, but when we had when I brought it before the council and finance, there are some concerns that Burton Field, we also have some capital funds for Burton Field. The council felt that until we get Burton Field restrooms finished, that maybe we should hold off on the shade structure in case other monies would be necessary or to complete that project, and then we'll revisit the shade shelter, after that.
Okay.
So that's something that we should be considering. We've talked about the renovation of Burton Field for many, many years. I know last year we put in some play equipment, and that made a big improvement. I think the council feels that at this time there's more need for street repairs and other things than to stick the money needed to do the renovation, which is estimated at $400,000 to $500,000. So I think at this time we should really look at the next, probably the biggest need I believe we can see when we get there is the warming house restrooms. So I think that'll be a project that we should undertake this summer and look into those repairs and improvements to the restroom and try to get those up to standards. Other projects we have going, there's a merry-go-round that's ordered and should be delivered soon for Williams Park. Another capital project was going to be the metal roof at Prospect Park. We had gotten quotes, estimates about a year and a half ago, and they were right around that $20,000 to $25,000. That's what I requested. We did get one estimate from the U.S. Communities company that did the roof at the library, came in quite a bit higher than that, like 3 times. So I'll go up, work on getting quotes and bids for that again, and maybe visit with, see why it was so high. Maybe there was other things under the metal roof that we didn't see originally or something like that. Ball fields, the teams are using Burton Field, Grandview Park. Restrooms are being opened and cleaned. We have our new lock systems we'll have up and running shortly. We had a little glitch the other day, but we're working on that. So other than that, Lakefront Park has some water issues for a few more days. Hopefully it'll go down soon.
Yeah, fishing opener.
Any problems, Tom, or everything look like it's holding up okay?
Yeah, the seawall, after we got it repaired the last about 5-6 years ago, it's been holding up very well.
Good. That's a good thing.
Probably another thing that we could note, and you guys have probably been following along, is that the parking commission or the parking utility, I don't know if they have a utility anymore, but the city council is working on some parking issues for downtown. Short term, they're looking for some additional spots. They are looking possibly at some diagonal parking, possibly on the First Street area. Some of the areas they're looking at could be within the street right away. It might get into the park a little bit. So I think there is a current ordinance that anytime some park land is used for other uses, that it has to go have a public hearing. So that's something that'll probably be coming up in the next short time, I think. I know it's an issue that they want to address pretty soon, pretty fast.
Well, and they did a really nice job last time.
Yeah, and it'd be
They took
similar
it
to
with-
what actually is down by the flagpole and across from Pier 500. Actually from Pier 500 north, and then from the volleyball court area to the boat launch. And, you know, it could be very beneficial to the parks. I mean, it's going to open up, you know, parking for the park use also. So it's going to, I think it'll benefit not only the businesses, but our park system.
Yeah.
Tom, how far north will it go, do you think? Will it go right to the entrance probably of down by the
I think it's going to go a block beyond.
oh, okay.
But I'm sure that, you know, once they get it engineered and, you know, once they get a design, things could change. But I think the original
Okay.
blueprint that I seen, actually, I think it extended to the north one block. But, there, you know, there's some sidewalks and there's some walking paths and there's some hills and
Sure.
things like that. So it'll be a process yet.
The excursion boat is up and running, I see. Are they, any issues with that?
The boat that sank last year, I did talk to Mr. Jarvis, and there was some legal issues with the ownership, and that was supposed to be settled this week, and the paperwork's supposed to be signed, and the company that's going to actually tow it said it's going to be probably this week or soon.
Okay.
So that'll be good to get that out of there. So from the, you know, the conversation I had with Mr. Jarvis, it's going to be happening soon. So I'll, you know, we'll hold them to that.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn from here and to regroup up at Prospect Park.
To adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Move up to there and reconvene.
Where are we going to meet?